Hello and welcome to a new episode of Soul Infused Monday. And as it always takes like a moment for people to jump in, to refresh the page, and me settling in here. I just got home yesterday from traveling, so my voice is not 100% back yet, but I am doing so much better. So while I'm getting ready here, while we're just waiting a few seconds for people to join and arrive, leave me a comment below if you see this. Share with me where you're from. Share with me from where you're watching in the world. And we are going to get started just in a minute. And today's topic is a continuation from last week when I started the conversation about self-love and sexuality. And the feedback and the questions were so much that I've decided to continue this conversation today as well about self-love and sexuality and how to basically heal those wounds from the past that keep us from enjoying our sexuality and our life in general. So please let me know if you're here. Say hello. Leave a comment so that I know you're here and see me. I had some issues with my computer last week, so I want to make sure that we are online, that you hear me, that you see me. And if you have any questions, leave them below. Okay, so just bear with me here for a second, but it seems that not so sure if I'm actually getting. Okay, anyway, I'm going to jump in. I don't want to spend too much time figuring the tech stuff out. I just want to make sure that you hear me. And that you are live here with me. So if you are live here with me right now, leave a comment, send me some love, and I want to make sure that this is working. Okay, let me just see here real quick. Okay, wonderful. Sonia, hi Sonia. Okay, awesome. I'm happy that you're here. Okay, let's get this started. Again, welcome to Soul Infused Monday, to a new episode. Today with the topic self-love and sexuality and how to actually heal old trauma, old wounds from the past so that you can let go of that baggage and really move forward in a very powerful, beautiful, and confident way in every area of your life. And if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Bueno de la Torre. I'm a passionate life and energy coach, and I help women all over the world to feel beautiful, to feel confident, to step up into their power in a very deep and authentic way. And self-love is such a crucial component when it comes to every area of our lives. And today we're going to continue the conversation about sexuality. Okay, so let me say hi here, Lisa. Hi, good morning. You hear me? I love it. Okay, hear me? Okay, wonderful. And if you've seen the show before, if you believe that there's value, if you think that it would be good for other women and men to hear about this, click the share button and share it so that we can create a bigger movement and support each other, because it's so important to understand and know that we are not alone, and this is a very vulnerable topic, embarrassing for some. Not so many people talk openly about it, and I only realized that with all the feedback I got from last week, because it's not an issue for me anymore, but it was in the past, and I felt very insecure about it. So I think it's good to open up the conversation. So if you find this valuable, please help me spread the word and share. Click the share button and share it with your friends or your community. Eileen, wonderful. Erica, I love it. All my favorite people are here. Okay, wonderful. So if you want to become one of my favorite people, show up, leave comments. Yeah, I love everyone. So it was just a little bit of a joke. Okay, so I do have a few questions from people that I want to address today. And I also want to ask you that are live here right now. If you have any particular questions, let me know. And I encourage you to be open in the sharing, because don't underestimate the power that you also have to inspire other people with your story, with your willingness and courage to share your own struggles with sexuality, because it helps you by opening up, and it helps others, and it invites others to participate. The more you participate, the more you will get out of this. Okay, good morning, Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Wonderful. Okay. I want to recap something, or just repeat something I said last time, because I think that's really important. And if you have not seen the show from last week, I would highly recommend you to watch the replay. Why self-love and sexuality, and why is self-love important for sexuality, and why is it even important to heal your sexuality or the wounds that are in the past, to heal the shame, to heal the insecurity, to heal the beliefs that we carry that keep us kind of like stuck or unfulfilled. And I want to emphasize that a healthy and fulfilled sexuality is not only about having good sex, having great sex, having fun and enjoying yourself. This, of course, is super important, and it's so much more fun to enjoy it than to not. However, what I really want to convey as well is that it's not only about that with another person. Your sexual energy is a natural born energy that is very powerful, and that connects you also with your sensuality, with your vulnerability. Sexual energy is very alive, very beautiful, very flowing. And if that's cut off for whatever reason, and I'm going into that in a minute, but if that's cut off, a certain flow of your energy will be always cut off. And you will not express yourself fully in different areas of your life. And please let me know if this makes sense to you. Leave me a comment. Does that make sense to you? Is this something you would like to heal and explore more? An overall enjoyment of yourself and your life in different areas. Okay, see some people, yeah. But let me know, does that make sense to you when I say it's not really only about sex? It's about your innate energy, about your essence, about who you are. And when you have access to it and you can fully embrace and live it, that it opens up a totally different aspect in your life, a totally different joyfulness, aliveness, big time. Okay, Gada, I hope I pronounced your name properly, so it makes sense to you guys. Okay, great. And again, please, if you have a specific question, leave it in a comment, and I will do my best to address it here today. I want to talk about a few reasons why we might be sexually blocked, wounded. A lot of things are very common, but I got some questions about that, and I want to share with you some, and then also what the most important steps are in actually healing and moving forward in a beautiful, authentic, and joyful way. Would that be helpful? Okay, let's jump in. There are different things that happen, and most of them happen already way early in our childhood. Not only, however, the foundation is made. We already perceive certain energies and nonverbal programming before we can even speak. One big component is our parents. How was our mother? Like how good was our mother feeling in her body? How was she feeling about her sexuality? How were you conceived? Was that in a beautiful environment, in a joyful? Was it in a fear state environment, or guilt or shame? We absorb the things already before we can even think about it. And we store it on an energetical level. Then there are certain beliefs and programming that we get from society, from religion, from school, from TV, like there's so much input out there, and unconsciously we take a lot of the things in early on that we are not aware of it. And of course then there's sexual trauma, like really physical trauma, energetical trauma, and mental trauma. Physical trauma would be if you got molested, if you got abused, and it can be in a severe way, and it can be also in subtle ways that you might think, oh, it wasn't such a big deal, but it impacted you tremendously. And then there's also energetical abuse. And I think that's a really important thing to understand, that when I understood the difference, and let me go back, I remember when I started to work on myself, because I hated myself. I felt so bad about myself. I hated my body. I was very insecure. I had no confidence. And I was highly depressed. I compared myself constantly. And if I liked a guy, and I think about that, how bad I felt. When I liked a guy, I looked at this guy and thought, oh, he's so nice in this. But I always felt, well, I'm not good enough. And who am I? And if I went to maybe even talk to him, if I even did that, right? It came from a very insecure and shameful place. So I didn't have much success with that. And then later on, when I was in a relationship, and I was in mainly in long-term relationships in my life, and sexuality became a bigger part of it, I enjoyed it to a certain extent. But only when I really did the inner work that shifted from hating myself to loving myself to embracing my body to understanding myself on an energetical level, I also understood that even though I wasn't physically abused, energetical, in an energetical way, most women, also men, but I know that I speak more to women, and it's also my own experience in my body, that we get a lot of trauma just by the energies that surrounds us, especially, and a lot of it is unconscious. I really want to also convey that this is not about blaming or judging any man out there that looks at us and is attracted to us. Energetically, sometimes that energy can actually be very uncomfortable. But it's not about blame, it's not about judgment, it's about understanding and about taking responsibility for yourself now so that you can enjoy your life in a better way. Okay, so let me know if this is helpful, if this is valuable. Yes, so true. Okay, I really want you to interact with me so that I know this is making sense, or if you want me to go to a different direction. Because remember, I'm doing this for you. So you make the show with me. So whatever makes sense to you, right? And if it's something you don't, let me know again. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a question that I got from Mary. I don't know if Mary is here live. I think she might only watch the replay. But she shared very openly, and she had a question that I wanted to address. So Mary said, will simply focusing on loving yourself be what turns no libido around? Medically, there is no evidence for my lack of libido, though I'm sure some chronic, issues that I have play a role. And she wrote more than that, but I want to address that for a moment. It's a very specific question. However, you can relate it to anything that's really related to you. The question, will simply focusing on loving yourself be what turns it on? First of all, it's a very individual question, so I would have to know more to really give a very specific individual answer. However, I can say that focusing alone will not bring the healing. It will set you in the right direction. Doing the work in order to love yourself will make the difference. So, and in my experience, and Mary said that in her question, it's not a medical issue. When we have a lack of sexual drive or enjoyment, there's always, not always, mostly something blocking it. Either there's some fear, some trust issues, some shame, some blocks around self-worth, and there's also often an element of not feeling safe. And when you don't feel safe in your body, if you don't feel safe within yourself on a deep, intimate level, it's very difficult to open up to someone. Does it make sense? So in a way, it's often an emotional and energetical component and not so much a physical one. And that's really important to understand. So if you think, oh, I have a physical issue and that's why I can't enjoy myself, I would bet there's something underneath, emotional or energetical, that needs to be cleared. And I felt the difference with myself as well. And I'm going to be super honest and vulnerable and transparent here, and dig really deep and invite you to do the same. For years, in the beginning of my sexual experience, I actually never had an orgasm. I didn't even know how I would get that. Didn't even know what that was. And I never shared that in public ever. But, I think it's important to really speak things out there. And I know actually that there are a lot of women out there who never experienced it. And I know that every woman is able to. And again, I'm addressing more women, but I think men can really learn also as well, hearing some honesty from women. Because it's up to us to own ourselves and to learn to communicate in a way and ask for what we need. Okay, so that was a struggle for me. I didn't even know. And for a while, I thought something is wrong with me. For a long time, I thought something is wrong with me and my body and my sexuality. And I was just the one that wasn't able. I was the one. Everyone else, every woman out there was having amazing sex, enjoyed the sexuality, had multiple orgasms, and whatever you were reading and hearing. And I thought I was the only one. So something was wrong with me. Does that resonate with you? Anyone that's just watching, listening, replaying it, did you ever feel that way? Just share with me. I would love to see if this resonates with you. This makes perfect sense, Sonia. Okay, thank you. That's really important to hear. So share with me. Does it resonate with you? Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like something is wrong with me? As a woman, as a person? Yes. Okay. And again, it's important to share and spread the message to understand you're not alone and nothing is wrong with you. There's just something that you haven't discovered yet, something that isn't healed yet for you to experience that. So many times it's about being in your head and not your body. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And that brings me to a point is when you're disconnected. I often talk about being connected, energetically as well. A lot of us, as soon as we are too much in our heads, we shut off our body. And then there's a disconnect. And we don't enjoy pleasure physically when we're just in our head. So to get into your body, to connect deeper within yourself is an important piece. So in order for you to heal whatever was in the past that happened to you, or even only recently, maybe you got molested, maybe you got raped. I have a lot of women that I work with who have deep, deep trauma and that I help them heal. And it's rarely that a woman that I work with has not some sort of sexual abuse, energetically or mentally or even physically, that we work through for her to fully love herself and to fully feel confident and beautiful and self-worth. Okay? So the first thing is to really take responsibility for yourself now. And I want to elaborate. So it's not your fault that happened to you. That's important. It's not your fault because often shame comes around, oh, I should have done something different, or because something in me it happened. So a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, and a lot of judgment is what creates that block as well. So it's not your fault. However, it's your responsibility now what you're going to do with it. And yeah, thank you, Sonia. You have to reveal it to heal it. So it's your responsibility. What I mean is whatever happened in the past that's blocking you from living authentically, beautifully, fulfilled, joyful in your body, in your sexuality, and in your life. It's your responsibility now and your possibility as well to change that, to heal, so that you can actually live that in a very authentic and beautiful way. So, what does it mean taking responsibility? Meaning to dig inside, look inside and say, okay, what in me is hurting? What in me is blocked? What are the beliefs that are still running in my body that's recreating this over and over again? What are the stuff around me that's holding me back from connecting to my beautiful self and to show my beautiful self in a very safe way? And once you take responsibility, then you are in the energy of moving forward and being empowered. And then the next step is really to ask for help. And I want to be super honest here as well. And even though some people like to hear, yeah, I kind of can heal that myself. If you would be able to do the deep inner work by yourself, you would have done it and you wouldn't struggle with any of this anymore. The deep inner work is what creates transformation. Deep, clearing, the freeing transformation does not happen overnight, and we cannot do it through our head or by reading or by saying affirmations. That all helps. That's the foundation. However, if you want to have deep transformation, if you want to learn to express your needs in a way that they are effective, in a way that you don't are afraid of rejection, if you want to let go of guilt and shame that sits around your body, your sexuality, and yourself, if you want to feel confident, and if you want to really step up and show up in the world in a big way, there's no way around doing inner work. And you can do that with me. You can do that with someone else. I'm not attached to it. What I'm attached to you for you is that you do whatever it takes to have the most amazing life that you can imagine. Sorry, I need to take a sip of water. You see, my voice is not quite back yet. Okay, so while I do that, leave me a comment below. Let me know if this is helpful. If you have questions, I have a few more minutes here on here live. So I'm gonna have another maximum 5 minutes. So let me know, is this helpful? What's the most valuable thing you're getting out of this call? And if you do have any questions. But yes, leave me a comment below. What's the most valuable thing that you are getting out of this call, of this show today? Take a moment. Don't hide. Don't hold back. Show yourself, reveal it to heal it, and share with me. And if you feel you are at a point in your life where you are ready to explore more, if you're in the point of your life where you feel, yes, I want to step up. Yes, I want to enjoy myself and my sexuality more. Yes, I'm ready to heal on a deeper level. And you would like to have some more individual support or coaching around it. Send me a private message today. And I will take a few minutes this week to actually go on the phone with you and to help and support you to see what your best next step is, or what to focus on in your individual case. And this is a huge opportunity. I'm very busy, but I'd be happy because this issue is so important and it's so vulnerable. It's so shameful, and you really need a safe place to open up and share. And I'd be willing to speak with you a couple of minutes this week. So send me a private message. Do it now after you watch this, and I'll be happy to connect and help you further. Okay, last few minutes. Let me see. I had another question. Let's see if I can actually address it. Yes, how to raise your energy. So she was sexually molested and she feels very blocked, and how to raise her energy when she's meeting with her husband, because it's very personal. So I just want to take the nuggets out there. Okay, her husband. All right. So she's asking, I'm in a marriage for a long time. I love my husband. My husband loves me. And I'm very blocked because of the fact that I got molested when I was younger. Excuse me. And a lot of the things relate to to the question. And what I love about this is it's about communication. So the tip that I would give you is, and is to, as much as you can, be open in sharing with your husband. Even if it's shameful, even if you're embarrassed or you are afraid of being judged. Honesty always is healing, is always healing. And you can even start by saying, hey, I want to share something with you, but it's really hard for me. It's really embarrassing. And I'm actually afraid to be judged. And you take a breath. And feel that for a moment. If I say that to you, without blame, without judgment, if I say, listen, honey, I've been working on myself. I've been listening to this woman, and she's revealing some stuff, and I really want to get better with this. But it's hard for me to share that. So I just wanted to share that in order for me to make a first step to open up. That's vulnerable communication. And then you go from there to listen. It's my experience. Okay, is this helpful? 2 more minutes and then I'm off to enjoy my rest of the day. Back in the beautiful Turks and Caicos. I'm so happy to be back home. Okay, I want to read something that, a comment that I just got. So I think I shared last week that some traumas had just been revealed that were hiding in my subconscious, and all the meditation therapy, etc., in the wood couldn't help until I was able and willing to accept that happened and love that younger self fully. Yes, that's a big piece that comes to taking responsibility. You can change when you accept what happened and you look into and you take responsibility. So absolutely, yes. And imagine giving myself a huge hug. Yeah, so much of the time and fear dissipate immediately. Yes, yes. And I talk about this a lot. Start by being more loving and gentle with yourself. Hug yourself. You know, I'm a huge hugger. I hug myself now. What if you would hug yourself right now while I hug myself? Let's do it all together. 30 seconds of a beautiful hug. Or maybe not 30 seconds, but take a breath, close your eyes. And hug yourself. Love yourself, even if it's only for a few seconds. Do this every morning. Do this every morning. So thank you for being here. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your willingness to learn and dig deeper into this topic. If you found this valuable, please share this. Show with your friends and any woman or man that you know will benefit from it. I love you. I appreciate you. I hug you. And remember, if you want some more individual help with this particular topic, send me a private message and I'll be happy to jump on the phone with you for a couple of minutes. Obviously, I cannot do this for hundreds of people. So I would say just for this week, the first 10 people get the opportunity to talk to me. Okay? Thank you so much. You always miss life. Don't worry. You watch the replay. Thank you, Sonia. Lots of love. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day and come back next Monday for another episode of Soul Infused Monday. Much love.